Hey neighbors, and welcome to this week's episode of Initiative Coffee Company Presents In the Red. Last time on In the Red, our heroes, it's been a week and it seems like it's been longer. I feel like mushrooms were involved.
Yeah.
I learned that a decahedron is not a dodecahedron.
No.
That was a life lesson from last week, that dodecahedrons and decahedrons are two different things.
Yeah.
I was apparently covered in a mushroom vine.
It was
thing.
gross. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Mushrooms.
We.
That thing I made
What?
happened to you all.
When you get banished, was it?
Yeah.
You get sent
Where
to a
do you-
different plane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What, like a
You don't know what
747, or like what kind of plane are we talking?
Like a plane of existence, like one of the hells or Celestia, or presumably in this case the Feywild,
Who knows?
or Arborea, something.
Okay.
Yep.
Anywho.
Anyway, so last time our heroes went off in search of the focal point of the fungal infestation that beleaguers.
Were we?
The
I thought we were going
Ironwood-
for the verdant
Ironwood
tortoise,
forest.
the verdant prince. I don't know it was specifically that.
All right.
That's where we are
They went to
now.
go find the Verdant Prince, which is a totally different place than the source
Apparently
of...
the source of the fungal oh no. My notes don't reflect this. Oh, no.
I mean, the ironwood was very big, so we assumed that each one had its own little point.
Right. They determined that there was this, like a hub-style network of infestation throughout the Ironwood. We had a skill challenge that went right and then hilariously wrong and then right again, I assume. That's usually how they go.
Hopefully.
And then Dimitri did not awake. Dimitri was found with diseased mushrooms encasing his body in a not so great way. And was banished to another plane long enough for everyone to deal with him. That checks out.
They just wanted to give me a hug. Was all.
He did give you a hug, all right.
Sure did. Sure just wanted to give you a hug, I promise. Yeah, so that is what happened last week. Are there any questions? It's something that I have fallen off doing, is setting aside time for questions.
For questions.
Should you all have questions?
Ooh.
If I remember correctly, you said I got a full rest in, and they
Yep.
were kind of fully rested or not fully rested.
We haven't gotten that far yet.
Yeah, so you can interrupt your long rest by about 20 minutes without it causing detrimental effects to your long rest.
And so it hasn't been 20 minutes, but
Right.
we're deciding not to go back to sleep because of all the mushroom business that's happening right
I mean,
now.
that is a thing that you could do.
We're gonna light the mushrooms on fire.
All right. So
Was there like a loud roar or moan or something down the way?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's about a
Oh,
mile.
that was what I messed up
a
early.
couple of miles to the south, or a lot of miles to the south. It was either something pretty big, a couple of miles to the south, or something enormous further south.
Yeah.
It was tough to tell.
I mean, if we wanted to get through the rest of the long rest, I know that we had facetiously talked about sleeping in the trees, but now being way off the ground sounds really, really safer now. So I don't know if we want to
Actually-
try.
I don't agree with that at all.
Oh, okay. Why?
And I'd point at the wriggling mass of mushrooms that's still probably slowly / quickly making its way towards us. I'm
yeah.
there is no place in this forest that we are safe from that. And I feel like it's kind of like probably hiding behind a tree, looking like.
Do we
one of
see?
these.
I mean, yeah. Were there mushrooms like high up on trees too, or was it really just that crystallized component?
I don't know if I want to test it out, but now 40 feet in the air.
Valid.
Just saying. I'd rather just blow this place up and have a more diligent watch. That's just me, though.
Yeah. Then
I don't know. I banished. Hey, I'm gonna ask, what the hell is in that letter?
You don't know about the letter.
Damn.
Dimitri knows about the letter because he found it on his person. It's addressed to you, but he hasn't delivered it
that
to
was
you.
oh
metagaming.
yeah.
So am I awake at this point, fully rested?
Yeah, we told you about the
we
mushrooms.
told you that there's
Oh yeah.
the struggle cuddle hug that was happening with mushrooms.
Struggle snuggle.
Yeah, that too.
So I guess I have this this letter addressed to Morty. Morty, I
Hello.
think this is for you.
What does it say?
Are you going to open it up?
It's your mail. I'm not gonna read your mail.
Hey, I appreciate that. That's a federal offense if you do that. I like to peek up. I like to gingerly peek open the mail.
The letter says it's addressed to one Mr. Mortimer Gladefoot,
That's me.
and it says you've done well.
I'm not reading this out loud.
Okay.
Yeah.
It says you've done well. My wards are growing to respect you. This matter requires the utmost attention. You're on the right path. Should you succeed in this endeavor, I will provide you with a boon. Signed, Lady of the Woods.
Damn
Yes,
it!
there we go.
Eustace Gladefoot. No! No. Eustace Clawbottom. No!
Oh,
How does
that's
this happen?
Eustace is Morty's dad.
Eustace Gladefoot. No!
No, it can't be true.
Brian's like, wait a minute.
Impossible.
That'd be actually hella interesting if Eustace is actually my dad.
What's it say?
I show you the letter. I'm like, well, I don't know.
Squint.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know if it really adds any real value. It's just confirmation that we're on the right path. And I say, I reiterate it, but it's like, I mean, like, it hasn't given us any clues.
Okay.
I mean,
well, it
I'm
says
reading
we're
that
on the
wrong.
right path.
Yeah, like, unless I'm reading that wrong, I feel like it's only reconfirmed the fact that we're on the right path.
Yeah.
Does this
The quest
imply
update.
that? So is does this imply that wherever you just sent Dimitri to happens to be the same plane that the Lady of the Woods exists on?
I don't get to choose where. I don't know where. Wait
Well,
a minute. I got a further question. I don't really know where I sent him.
That's true.
Yeah.
You sure don't.
Like, there is a litany of places.
You don't really
that
get
I
to
could have
pick.
sent him. Yeah, no, it's just he's gone from this realm.
And what's particularly interesting is that wherever you sent him, it's like the Lady of the Woods was ready and like pounced on Dimitri and shoved the letter in really fast because it was pretty fast. Like it was
Less than a minute.
We did it pretty fast.
Maybe.
Time also works
actually-
differently on different planes.
Maybe.
Oh,
So-
that's why you're fully rested. You look so
Hold on.
rested, Dimitri.
You know, I'm gonna continue this awful conspiracy theory. Maybe she's actually in jail, and that it was the first time somebody showed up, and she was like, "Give him this letter," and that's what it really was. Thoughts?
Probably not.
And then I look at the mushroom spores that are probably heading towards us. I'm like, thoughts?
Yeah.
And the mushrooms go. "Eh."
They just shrug.
Well, let's skedaddle then, because those mushrooms.
Yeah, didn't
Right?
you say the mushrooms were moving at like
10 per second.
right?
And every second.
10 feet per round, yeah, so they're moving aggressively.
I mean,
they're not
relatively
moving,
fast.
they are growing that quickly.
Right.
When you cut them off from, like, the hub, they appear to be kind of receding.
Like because somebody responded to them.
Because they were found out.
Oh.
They look like they
Yeah.
work best in secret.
I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna look away.
Yep.
I'm gonna have an exclamation point above my head right as I look at them again.
Not booze from Mario.
Yeah, they're too
Right.
smart
I
for
was.
you.
Yeah. Exactly.
I
They're
was
too
thinking more
smart
so-
for your side scroll platformer nonsense.
I was more so going for Solid Snake, and
Yeah.
that noise, and just
I got you.
No, they appear to be like decidedly receding.
So they're moving 10 feet per second away from us.
Yes.
Set them on fire.
well. Wait a minute.
No, I feel like just haphazardly setting stuff on fire is not in our best interest.
Didn't you set some stuff on fire last week anyway?
We always do it.
Yeah.
Come on, Ryan.
Yeah,
That
the
seems
whole
right.
and I feel like it was somewhat fortunate that we didn't explode ourselves in the process of exploding half the forest.
Well,
Remember
no,
how the
they're
land
iron
was
Yeah, there
sunk
was a
18
hellscape.
inches?
That's true.
And there was jets of flame
I
shooting.
did forget about the hellscape. That was...
I bennied my way into a single-digit roll. It was
No,
it was
no, but
beautiful.
Despite
gotta
our
think about
best
it, though.
efforts.
we lived. That's all that matters.
You know, whatever. Light everything on fire. Dudes. I got ice stuff.
I don't think ice and fire.
I don't think I. Yeah.
I'm pretty certain Pokemon has aggressively showed me that that's not how that works.
Well, it doesn't in
There was
in
literally an episode with the Metagross.
I don't know what you're
oh.
talking about now, but okay.
Yeah, it's Pokemon. Don't worry.
My
The
nephew
one episode I
hasn't
remember.
brought me into that episode of Pokemon. I don't know what a Metagross
Yeah, it's like
is,
this.
so-
It's like three. It's like it's got like 4 legs. Whatever. That's.
Alright.
It looks like a fortress with legs.
Oh. Alright.
Yeah.
Big Mar suggests you burn it all.
I mean,
Which
I'm
seems a
not
little
against this.
seems a little anti
Big Mar? No.
anti Mar considering
Well,
he's a
actually-
face spirit, but all right,
I don't agree with that because he's part of festivities.
that's
And
true.
if the fire burns and there's festivities,
That's true.
At this point, everything I know about Big Mar is pretty much that's all I
Hey.
know is finger
And
guns
He's like a face spirit of like of revelry and celebration.
of the dude, right? So I kind of feel like if Big Mar wants us to light everything on fire,
there's probably good reason.
yeah, okay, all right, I'll allow it.
He's a face spirit of a
Not like I
good
can
show,
stop
but
it.
not like a good show is in like a wow show, not like a good holy show.
Right.
You need
Oh.
to eat the cooked mushrooms.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, I do want.
I mean,
so,
we're
okay.
bringing Zelda rules into this here, in my mind. So, like, you should absolutely eat the cooked mushrooms. It makes you go faster.
2 things. First one,
Yes.
first one's more practical here.
Yes.
Well, actually, I'm gonna start with the other question. We still have frozen mushrooms that are still frozen, hanging
Mhm.
out in a clump, right?
Yeah.
Great. I still have. I'm gonna recast my just all gonna happen.
Mhm.
My ritual detect magic.
Okay.
Second, where is that path of mushrooms going? Considering they're growing, are they ungrowing? How's that working? And actually, third follow-up question: where the hell are they going?
So they were coming from the south.
Okay.
And you can see as like they aren't leaving, they're like decaying.
Well, that's
And
what
so-
fungus is.
Well, like, but the mushrooms themselves are like wilting,
withering.
and withering, and kind of like backtracking, right?
Okay. I guess my follow-up question, or my follow-up statement, I've got detect magic. I'm trying to do this all in like one sequence of events. they were clearly magical beforehand.
Mhm.
When they are receding, are they no longer magical, or is there
So
still
the
magical
ones you
radiance?
have cut off do not radiate magic.
But
The
the
other
path-
ones, the ones that are like wilted, no longer radiate magic. But if you like ran to catch up with them, the ones that have not wilted yet are magical with necromantic and divination magic.
are they responsive of my movement and changing their? I mean, I know it's like, oh, the most direct path. Are they like almost changing their path according to how I move?
As you move toward them, the faster you go, the quicker they seem to like
Okay.
wilt.
And then I'll like to pull back to see if they slow down.
They do.
And like, and are they like, if I hit a point, are they like, do they stop moving or they continue?
No. They continue to
Okay.
recede.
I didn't. And once again, I wasn't going like hundreds of feet. I was just like wanting.
Right. Yeah.
Should we set them on fire and follow the trail?
I feel like we'll be able to see that fire, honestly, because it's the middle of the night.
Everyone's okay with that? Because
Oh,
last time
yeah.
I did it, people weren't okay
We're-
with it.
We're in the Ironwood. Apparently, stuff doesn't catch on fire so easily.
Well, lots of things catch on fire easily. We catch on fire easily.
Well, we're in the middle of a clearing right now.
Probably not relevant or not. Do we ever determine? No, we didn't. Never mind. Carry on.
What did we? No, that's probably an important question.
No,
What are you
okay,
gonna
so
ask?
The answer is
I-
no, but maybe you should. What are you
Right,
trying to
so
determine?
the question I was about to ask, did we ever determine? So the way I've imagined the colony
Mhm.
that we blew up, for lack of a better word,
Yeah.
is it's just like a basically a coal mine explosion of fungus under where we were standing that happens to be in a decahedral shape. I was wondering how like thick the vein of fungus was that we blowed up.
Can you rephrase that question? I'm not sure what you're asking.
So okay, relative to the tendril of fungus that is going towards and or against us right now.
Yeah.
How I'm trying to determine how ferocious this fire will be, because like when Spit set off the last colony, the whole thing just went whoomph.
Oh, you're talking
all
about
Yeah. So
about
that
like a thin thing of oil versus like a large thing of oil.
Right.
Yeah, like are we
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about like a gunpowder fire where just the whole thing goes at once, or is it like the gasoline fire from a movie where it's just like slowly?
Yeah, so I would say probably make an insight check.
I have to use dice.
Yep.
But yeah, it's
Sometimes.
I would like to use a Benny, please.
Oh, man!
Well, unless you want a 3.
Nope.
Nope.
no.
That one ain't much better. That was an 11.
I mean, that's 8 better.
Yeah, well.
You get the idea that this is wildly safer.
Cool, let's
If you
do
got a
it.
12, you would have realized it's not safe at all.
Yeah, I mean,
like
think-
you so in the location where you started a hellscape, there was like thick like collections of fungus and like crystallized resin
Okay.
around the trees.
And it was an 8. He rolled an 8.
And he spectacularly failed at his Arcana check. Yes.
I bennied so that it wasn't so spectacular of a
Right,
failure. 'cause
right,
it
right, right.
would have been.
It would
a
have been
3.
wild.
It's it blowed up.
So I would say that there's probably, you get the idea. You don't see the same like crystallized resin, and you get the idea that like beneath, like where the sinkhole fell in, there was probably some kind of like a pool of resin that had collected, right? That hadn't like crystallized, but like beneath the surface in some kind of like subterranean like hollow, right? There was just like a pool of resin that caught, and that like when it ignited, it was so like hot and quick that it blew like the crust a little bit, like it blew holes in the ground.
Yeah.
Wherever like that force could get out. Hey, Rio, Big Mar subscribes. Well, Big Mar gets subscribed. Thank you, Jake. So you don't see those same like telltale signs of like those big, like that big like pool of resin here.
Okay, so the mushrooms, the fungus burns quickly. The resin is just a bomb, just a straight up bomb.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
like a
more or
flash
less.
fire,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
like a flash.
Mhm.
You should
Flash
think of it
fire.
as like a lighter fluid. Like it's like kerosene rather than like a slow burning liquid.
Yeah.
Like none come to mind at the moment.
All right.
Cool. Let's burn it.
Do you want to do it this time, Enix? You
sure.
roll you rolled an 8. That it's not on me.
I rolled an 11.
An 11. I rolled the 8.
So your goal is to burn the mushrooms like where they're receding?
Yeah, what are we burning, by the way?
Like
Just
that
mushrooms.
that trail of mushrooms
going-
and seeing and like
Them.
yeah, and like and if you can't sustain your fire source, I could like give quick bursts of fire too. But we want to be able to see where they're coming from because they seem
Right.
to be moving away.
Well, I can just chuck a flaming sphere out there, because then I can be 60 feet away
That's
from whatever lights on
aggressive.
fire. Well, it's the only thing I have that lights on fire, unless you want me to throw an ice knife at it, which I don't think works.
No.
See,
I mean, if you want, I could firebolt from 120 feet away.
I can bring down lightning from 150. No, it's 120. Yeah, let's do that.
Do my firebolt, and then it'll be
Yeah.
my fault again.
I'm going
wait.
to give you a good massage, like an arm massage. I'm like, yeah, make sure you hit it real good, and like me doing that is I like to. I
Just
can't
add
do
it-
less, but like I want to give
Yeah.
him guidance. But like I hope Brian's
Well,
like, yeah, maybe
well-
don't mess this up so bad.
So, I mean, I'll just put it out there really quick. Like, although I learned how to do some magic and whatnot, I'm really like that. Are you a better magic person? I forget.
Who are you referring to?
Tianyax.
Better how?
More
have-
skilled in Arcana or Nature. For you, it would be Nature.
Of nature, absolutely.
Then
I
he is
think
in
what-
Arcana.
Yeah, I have not much for
Sing them.
Arcana, but I have decent nature.
Both of those require a degree of intelligence, and I think we all know what my strongest trait is.
It's not intelligence. That's his strongest trait, is not being intelligent.
Yeah!
His not intelligence score is an 18.
Oh, man.
wait, is spit still flammable or
No, my
it's
spit was
been-
never flammable.
It was
no.
It's
sticky.
just sticky.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And when it caught on fire, it became hardened.
no. It
Only-
was because
only
it
when
was
combined with the
specific
right
chemicals.
things,
Yeah. So, Enix, can you blow it up?
So, yeah, what are we doing here?
Okay, I'll make it my fault. So yes, I I kind of corral everybody over to a safe spot, whatever we consider safe around here. That is precisely 60.0 feet away,
Mhm.
and cast a flaming sphere, just
To,
so.
to be clear, y'all are not going to finish your long rest.
Well, what? How many minutes are we in at this point now?
Like
Had a discussion.
15? I mean, like, it's
My
been a
plan
bit.
is yes.
Okay. So you want to
Like-
burn the mushrooms and then finish your long rest.
I mean, I feel like that conversation is almost simultaneously happening. Like, hey guys, and like,
Okay.
we're
that's
like,
fine.
yeah, I feel like that's what's happening.
Okay.
Not like,
I just didn't know if you were like coming back to that,
No,
or
no,
if
no,
you
no,
were
no,
just
no.
gonna like burn the mushrooms and follow the trail right now. So
if
okay.
y'all want to take care of the next set of day without my abilities, I'm sure. But I just want
Right.
to clear that
Okay.
up before
Well,
that happens.
If
So, yeah,
if
are
I'm
we
feeling if I'm feeling rested, I can take over watch while
Mhm.
they all sleep.
Yeah.
Then, yeah, I guess like that's a solution to a degree.
Okay.
Let's resolve the flaming
Let's
sphere
resolve the
blowing
flaming
was
sphere
bad.
scenario first.
Because
and
then I had the question about the frozen mushrooms.
Mhm.
It's the flaming sphere.
Sure. So I need you to make a nature check. First, I need you to make an attack roll.
Well, I'd like to use another Benny.
Well,
Flea.
well, question. What's the base?
That.
No,
one.
no, no. Oh, that one's so garbage. Yeah. I didn't know if it was like a 2 and it was like a 9, and it's like a.
Nuh-uh.
But like, what were you Like, what was the skill you were attacking with?
Wait. So what? I'm sorry. What am I rolling first?
Nature.
You're rolling.
Oh, no,
so
attack,
first, you're making a spell attack roll
Okay.
to like aim the guiding bolt because it's a little
flaming
bit
sphere.
weird. That's not exact. All right, that's not exactly
Okay.
how flaming sphere works, but like this is kind of a precision thing.
So attack. The spell attack roll will be a 19.
Yep, you definitely hit it. Now I need you to make a nature check to make sure that you can control this magic in the way that Spit couldn't.
Oh, I like this die. 23.
Okay.
Oh man.
I'm not going to use this red one anymore. That one's garbage.
Yeah.
That's dead to me.
Yeah, so you managed to like float the flaming sphere into this like vine of mushrooms. The vine immediately catches fire. Clearly, there's resin in this vine, like on it / in this vine. The whole vine goes up, and you see this like fuse start to go. Not that like it's about to cause an explosion necessarily, but like that is the speed at which this like vine is burning. I mean, maybe it will cause an explosion, but it doesn't currently.
Do we hear the Mission Impossible theme in the background?
No, because that's copywritten.
Oh, the assignment very difficult theme song.
Sure, right. The near impossible task granted to me theme song. You don't. No, you hear
Oh man.
Jake's loud ass bird in the background. That's what you hear.
That's not my bird's not doing anything right now.
That's true. Your bird is being very well behaved.
Because she's in the cage and quiet in the dark.
It's nighttime.
Nah.
So you have seemingly set a trail for yourselves. Now you're gonna finish your long rest. Is that
Well,
the plan?
no, not quite.
Okay,
The frozen mushrooms.
sure.
So,
I feel like the rest of us are already like heading over to start to bed down because
it's awful. I mean, I'm part of the rest of us, too.
yeah, well, not.
There's only 4 of you. There's not a lot of the rest
So,
of you that don't
actually-
include all of you.
Actually, the one question I did have before I get to the frozen mushrooms, when the mushrooms that came out of the ground and died and wilted, did they shoot out spores?
No.
Oh, that's so interesting. Even though they radiated magic at one point in time, they died and that did not cause a spore explosion.
No.
As I look at the frozen mushrooms,
Mhm.
I'm going to keep. I think we had like a face mask kind of thing that would.
Yeah, you
that,
wrapped healing kit bandages around your
Yeah,
face.
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna. I don't want to say get close, but I'm like kind of like get closer to that frozen mushroom bit and see have the mushrooms since they've been frozen.
Mhm.
Are they still pungent with spores?
There
or
are
have
still
they gone-
spores on the frozen mushrooms. Yeah. They are like frozen to the mushrooms, but there are still spores on the frozen mushrooms.
Interesting. I'm gonna say to everybody, I'm like, hey guys, this is kind of a weird thing. It seems like, and I don't even know the right word. Like the phrasing I want to say, like the bullet points I want to hit are like, hey, it's me. I hope you guys are having a great night. Second bullet points. Very interesting that when the spores came back and when they were threatened and they withdrew, the spores of the mushrooms that they created no longer emitted a spore sequence or spore system thing, and then we're now looking at this, which has been frozen, of course, and kind of like held in stasis, but it looks like the spores are independent of the dead mushrooms or like the receding mushrooms. It seems like Brian's about to say something. It's
No, I'm trying to understand what you're saying. So
like, so when they're in panic mode or when they start getting killed off, the spores disappear.
they don't. I mean,
Because otherwise, that when we
your
when
best
they
your
were, like,
best
withdrawing-
interpretation is that they are burnt when everything else is burnt, right? Like they are turned to ash with the mushrooms and the vines.
So
Not
I
that
assume
they,
he wasn't
like-
shooting at, because you said that they were wilting over, and I would assume that was not going to cause a spark because if they were dead.
But there's still the resin exists longer than the mushroom. Like the resin is the byproduct, so the resin is
So-
still there. So it ignites and burns up the material, like the wilted material, as well as the spores.
I retract that last statement.
Okay.
All three of those statements, except for the one that says, "Hey, I hope you're having a good night."
He still hopes you're having a good night.
So, so I guess then I should make sure I'm on the right page. When they started withdrawing,
Mhm.
the mushrooms died. The spores were still there.
Yes, but where they were burnt, like the
They're
spores
dead.
burnt up with the mushrooms.
Yeah. So okay. So,
Sorry, maybe that was my misunderstanding.
because that's I was like that's a really weird, interesting, not weird, an interesting concept. Whereas like when they, whatever.
Mhm.
So when this mushrooms died, the spores maintained. Got it. Yeah, I think we should blow this other thing up. That's full. Like maybe we should take like 20 feet back, and light this thing on fire. This solid block of mushrooms, unless you guys think otherwise. This.
The frozen ones,
Yes. I mean, they're gonna unfreeze
eventually. Yeah,
eventually, and I'd rather not do that in the middle of the night when we have to deal with.
they
Actually-
don't seem to be emitting magic though.
But they still have spores.
They still have the spores, but they are no longer
Wait.
magical because they have
Yep.
been cut off from the rest of.
But we also have no way of dealing with spores without.
That's true.
We have currently no means of dealing with spores. We don't know the status of how the spores might infect other things.
That's correct.
So either we can extract something, which then puts the person who does that at risk, i.e., not
Accurate.
us, and clearly Roscoe, and the surrounding farmlands. I mean, I think there's something to be gained here, but I don't know what it is. Thoughts?
I have a thought, Dimitri. I need you to make a Constitution save.
Oh
Just-
no!
All right.
It was a matter of time.
Well, it's mostly because I'm probably still covered in spores and I need to clean
You're
up.
gonna get the ew.
Are you I've got some real mean words to say to my mistress of the forest who's not cleaning off my friend.
You know what? We'll take it, and it'll be a 13.
You have not shaken off the effects of the disease, so your maximum hit points are still reduced.
Wasn't that Enix?
Yeah.
Annexes.
I'm sorry, Enix, make a Constitution save. Dimitri, you're fine.
I thought that was some really mean
I
words.
saved my Constitution roll when I was asleep.
I was gonna switch deities real quick if she wasn't gonna clean him off.
11.
No. Oh.
You
Oh.
have not shaken off the effects of the disease and are still reduced in your maximum hit points.
I
You are
can't-
not. You do not take additional negative maximum hit points because you have been lesser restoration.
Restored.
And
Right.
you still got Death Ward on.
Yeah. Why did you do that again?
Because I was concerned about your health and I didn't want you to die.
Oh.
It sounded like the most accusatory one.
He
Why'd
was
you do
worried
that?
about
Why'd
your
you do that?
safety. Like,
I was worried about your almost sleep apnea-like breathing. Sounds like a lot of phlegm in your throat.
right. All right. So you guys are gonna finish your long rest then, and Dimitri is gonna keep watch. Is that the plan?
I think that's the plan. I don't think that Dimitri should be up the entire time. Maybe like 3 out of the 4 rests or 2 out of the 4 rests.
There's only like an hour and a half left.
Yeah.
Of the last
Oh,
rest.
I thought that was I thought we stopped.
No,
like,
this all
rest.
happened
I was
in the last
third
rest.
watch.
Oh, okay, then you can. Hey, but you're good. But my
I'll
how
keep
long
an
will
eye
my,
on-
how long will my Death Ward last on NX? I guess is the question. Like midday.
It's an 8-hour cast. When did you cast it?
I think I was first watch.
Yeah, so it'll get you through like mid-morning.
Okay.
Yeah, till like 10 or 11
So let's
a.m.
run into combat right now, guys. Make the most out of this spell.
Just to be clear, is it multiple inactive spores inside of me, or is it like one? Is like a spore causing me to have the ew or the ick or whatever it was called?
There's no way to know that.
Don't know.
Oh. Well,
You should ask your god.
have I been coughing up? Well, how big? So you mentioned there were spores on the mushrooms. How big are these spores?
Pretty small.
I mean,
they're tough to spot. Like, you have to know what you're looking for.
All right.
Mm.
Size of a cockroach. Why is this in me?
It's so large. How did that fit in my lungs?
Bleh.
I can barely do with liquid in my lungs. Why can't I do this? All right. I guess we sleep. We
Great.
sleep.
It goes fine. You guys are great.
Yeah.
Ryan was just waiting for us to say that because
Yeah.
he's done with this.
There's no wrong time for Dinner Slayer. There's also no right time to watch this stream. It's madness always.
It's true.
So we got a long rest. That's all that matters.
Mhm.
Okay. Is there any kind? Can I do like a medicine check as we wake up in the morning, an hour and a half later after our short nap?
To do what?
To check on NX.
Yeah, you can absolutely make a medicine check to check on the general well-being of Enix.
Like,
an hour and a half is enough time for a full run cycle, so we probably wake up pretty well rested after that.
Yeah.
I'm about to do one of those like, please breathe out hard. Like,
Right. the lung capacity like metal ball like beam.
I've had
things.
too much of that happen in my life with bad lungs. It's like they're like, "Are you good?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm breathing fine." They're like, "You're breathing at like 25%
Right.
capacity."
We're gonna
right
need
now."
to check your tidal volume.
Yeah,
Oh.
you really aren't breathing, and it's like, oh, okay. 18. Can I give myself
Guidance?
guidance?
Yeah, if you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna put on my guidance looks like it's somehow I'm gonna pull out one of the stethoscopes. Is that
Yeah.
what it is? And put it on my ears and like check your. I'm like, can you breathe? Can you cough twice? No, wait, no, that's a different check. Never mind.
I'm fine.
20.
He's stable. He's not getting
Well-
better or worse currently. Like, I don't know what you're looking for with this.
I guess to like find where like if is it in his lungs or maybe has it expanded
Oh, it's
outward?
definitely respiratory. It's not
Yeah.
it's not expanding
Okay.
because you cast lesser restoration on him. So like it would be expanding if that didn't happen, right? Like he would take additional like hit point damage every morning if he didn't get it like stopped.
Yeah.
And now like there just has to be something else that happens for him to like clear it.
Is
So,
there anything that
Normally he
might-
wouldn't be getting. He'd be getting like normally he'd be getting saves to keep more damage from happening, and at this point he's getting saves to clear the virus or to
Is
clear
there
the
Mm.
disease.
anything that I know in my clearly vast medical experience, because I'm now Dr. Gladefoot, to potentially deal with / like enhance like I guess mechanically give him advantage on saves?
Yeah, the resistance cantrip, or
Damn it! That's the one I didn't take.
there's a spell for that. It's called resistance, and it's a cantrip. Also, like just you get the idea that like now that it's stopped, like another remove disease spell would probably clear it.
Do I have remove disease? I really need to start not. Apparently, I need to focus myself on more not. I was gonna say like, okay, like lesser restoration again, but I guess that doesn't really do it. It does. It's just it, like doesn't. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna have to relook at all my spells and see what I can re-prepare for all this stuff.
Mhm.
Next thing I know, I'm gonna be like the guy that's most useless, which is most cases, except for banishment.
There's never a bad time to banish someone.
There really isn't. Friendly, evil, who cares? I learned that from Big Mar. There's never a bad
It's
time
true.
to banish somebody.
Somebody
If-
fell off a cliff, banish him.
So here's a stupid idea.
I love stupid ideas.
Yeah.
it's
So
the
to
best.
make, I was just looking through the equipment that I'm carrying. I carry. It's called Moonmark paint, and I know it's supposed to show. It's the idea is that it shows my current mental state.
Mhm.
Can I do something to make this Moonmark paint tie into the like how much
Your
this
feeling.
infection is affecting me, so that Morty can like just look at me at this paint on my face, and if it starts to change color, know that it's getting worse.
But you're stable.
I
We
think you
know
guys are
this.
overthinking this. Like,
We
it
are,
won't
yeah.
get
We are.
worse.
You know what?
Currently.
If we're
Brian,
gonna
it
overthink
sounds like
let's
it
lean
might get
all the way
worse.
into this.
like he has cast the magics
Can
to
I
make sure it
please-
does not get worse.
Yeah.
No,
Can
I mean,
It's
please
just
give
up
Annex
to s-
inspiration. I don't know what kind of inspiration I can, but he's letting me lean into this awful,
honestly,
awful
I feel
thing.
like since the infection didn't get any, or the disease didn't get any worse while I was sleeping.
That we know of.
Like, well, right. But I don't perceive that anything has changed. So I woke up, and then I woke up to you taking a stethoscope and like slapping it on my chest.
I mean, I didn't
for
go
no
like.
reason.
I was worried.
He's worried about your safety, and I will not have you discredit his medical knowledge
What kind of
just
knowledge?
because he's
Wow.
worried about your safety.
I'll remember
Wow.
that one.
So, one thing that I'm curious about, do we see scorch marks on the ground where this vine of
You see the ash. for
mushrooms
sure.
had burned?
Yeah, you see the
Yeah,
ash, and
so-
you see like a trail of resin that was left behind,
Yeah, so we
or
should
like
we
the
follow...
like burn off of the resin. Yeah.
I mean, it
Yeah.
couldn't have gotten far. It's only moves at 10 feet per 6 seconds. I mean, it's gonna move
But-
far, but not.
I mean, the
that far.
fire moves
But
moves
it-
faster. Like,
Exactly, and it would go towards wherever it was coming from. So can we use that as a breadcrumb trail to see what's going on at whatever this hub is?
yeah. You could use it as a guiding bolt if you wanted, if you were so inclined.
It's a guiding ash.
A bolt that guides you where you need to go. Yeah, you absolutely could.
How densely packed is this area? Like, I know that we were nearby the clearing. Does this ash and resin residue trail go like deep into the forest? Is it down like a beaten path?
It is not necessarily along a trail. It clearly like it is on a path because it is the path of like the vine growth.
Mm-hmm.
You can pretty easily follow it to another kind of smaller clearing.
Oh yeah, let's go there.
Yeah. Okay. You do so. You look around and you see a bunch of like ash kind of all around that looks very similar to the ash that you followed here.
I'd like to pick up, or like, put in a container. In the container about stuff that we have. I'd like to put in some of that ash,
Okay.
and then cork it and make sure it doesn't leak. Put it in my other compartment of compartments. I'll hand it. Actually, I'll do one better. I'm just gonna hand it to Dimitri.
Okay. Make it his problem. Cool.
Yeah, make it. It's not my problem anymore.
This is
So
the
I
session of
now
making
have
someone
a thing
else's
of
problem.
ash.
You have a small vial of ash.
Yes.
This clearing, you said it's a smaller clearing, so smaller than the one where we had fought the blight tree, correct?
Yes, and smaller than the
In the sinkhole.
sinkhole. Yeah.
Oh, okay. We've obviously followed the one trail to here. Do we see this kind of this clearing also have evidence of other tendrils going out, or does it just go further south?
It does like seem to go south and then like southeast and southwest.
Hmm. A fork in the road.
And it seems to like have some kind of like the growth isn't like it's not just like there is like a another like smaller decahedral like shape, and it looks like there's some ash that like has connected various parts of that geometric form.
Should we keep following it down south, and then we just choose one of the directions, guys?
Let's do it.
Yes.
I say southwest.
Southwest.
How far?
Yeah, because... Go ahead.
Good. No, go ahead.
Because we know that if we go down and to the left, at least if I remember on the map, we know that the Cache Shrine is on the west, and if we travel far enough down, oh, that's like really far down. I was gonna say there was that river and that river town all the way down there.
South
but we
of the forest. Yeah, you get the idea that you have not even reached like a third of the way into this forest.
Okay,
Yeah, like,
never mind.
it's a big
Okay.
wood. Like, yeah.
Got it.
What were you trying to say, Morty?
I was gonna ask how far are we to the west side of this village, this forest edge, and you just answered it. We're not really that close.
No.
Yeah, you're pretty central in the forest
Yeah.
in terms of the east to west, and you're about a third of the way in from north to south. You would
Yeah.
guess based off your travel. Having not been in this forest
Yeah.
in depth before, it's a little tough, but like that's your best guess.
Yeah.
Like if you could get a bird's eye view, you could certainly get a better idea.
Wait, you're talking about
Enyax!
a bird?
We probably don't need to know our exact positioning
Yeah.
of the forest right
Not
now.
yet. We're not too far away, so probably not immediately. But now we have an option.
Yeah.
Well, at this point, if we need to backtrack, we can just follow the trail of destruction.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, we have gotten this ash. Maybe Roscoe can figure out some more stuff with that, and maybe the circus is live.
So
You're gonna
get
give
to
up
town?
on this mission then? Okay.
I mean, no, we just collected.
It's been a day. Well,
I've been through a lot.
Well, so for real, it's been what, like 4 days?
4
since we
days, yeah.
Okay.
And it was gonna be about 10 for them to get to start the circus, right?
Got it. Okay. So we should keep going then.
Yes.
Look,
we
I'm
should
not going to
keep
tell you
going.
what you should or shouldn't do.
No, for
Yeah,
some
sure.
reason I had it in my mind that they were getting started within a week and that they'd
No.
only be doing circusing for like a week. So I was just like,
No, they're
going
going to start like 10 days from now, and they'll be
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
circusing
Go
for,
more
like, 10
west.
days.
There's nothing more west.
Well, it's more southwest. We know that.
What's
we know.
more southwest? There's nothing more southwest except for a dragon that apparently casts a shadow the size of a building, where we can't
Oh.
see it.
That was to the north, but
No, that was in Bell.
I guess that's like
North of
kind
Bell.
of that's northwest of you right now, though.
Yeah, well, but I mean, like, there's no major cities to the west that we haven't dealt with along at least the path.
You've only dealt with
Yeah.
one town.
But I mean, along the road, you have the
Yeah.
tower, and you have that, and then the Green Hall.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
there's
as far
where are
as
they
you've
gonna
gone.
go?
Where's who gonna go?
The
Oh, the circus, you mean?
Yeah.
Back to Rainwall. I don't know.
We'll just put
They're
them
a traveling
Come
circus.
back. We'll take a guiding bolt and tell them to come back.
Okay.
It's them moving at a faster pace than the guiding bolt goes. We'll just cast it at 100 feet away from them.
So,
I see.
so I still vote that we follow this little trail that goes southwest.
I'm not in disagreement.
Let's go for it.
Remind me, what are the dumb rules for the like knockoff guiding bolt spell that we got
It-
from?
You have to have visual.
Oh, okay. We have
It
to.
just finds things. that
Yeah.
would-
Well, right. I forget how that worked though. Like, did we need to?
You can find my notes.
see what it's.
You haven't like fully
Flesh
explored
it out.
the crappy guiding bolt spell. You cast it one time and saw what it did that time. You haven't like tried to like
I'm
reverse
totally-
engineer the guided bolt spell.
I'm
Like,
so in favor of when we
GPS.
get back doing that.
right.
It's called the
And
GPS
finding
bolt.
more
Right, yeah,
powerful
yeah, yeah.
version.
The only thing you
Yep.
know is instead of being a guiding bolt, it's a guiding bolt. Like that's the only difference that you really know.
I just
Um,
wanted.
What?
We got many of them, and at the time we only had the patience to explore like.
I only
dozen
had
of
the
them.
spoons to make up 5 like bonkers
Yeah.
spells. Yeah.
So
That's-
it's
that's
possible that there are others to sort through.
That's true.
Well, I get,
And
my
that's
question was-
why you gave all of them to
oh, we
your
don't have
warlock.
any of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm totally in favor of going back and telling him like, can you make more of this problem? Like, can you put more energy into it? And he's just sitting there, and it becomes like 2-mile radius, where it's just like, pew.
Just like a giant arrow of light comes down and
Yeah,
just
it's
like
a big red marker. And it's just
oh, it's right there.
It's just floating like this, and it goes up and down.
Yeah.
Did
Is
we
this
really
who you're looking for?
Did we get rid of all those?
Yeah.
We all-
Oh,
we don't
God,
have any
no.
on us.
You don't have any on you. Like
Yeah.
they're all with
Baron?
they're all with
We're all
Baron.
with Baron.
That
Yeah,
seems
because
like
I'll
that
be
would be
casting
because it
Mage
was
Hand all the time.
like. So stay with me here. Like it was like a luminous arrow, right? It
Mhm.
was a
Yeah.
glowing arrow. I feel like that would be super useful, like now. Well, not now necessarily, but like at night when we can't see things. Which is like keep this arrow over top the dude that we don't want to lose.
No,
and have
it was like.
Enix,
it
can
was
I
like- it was
ask you a
like
question?
Yes.
Do you wish you had a couple of those right now?
I don't know what I'd do with it, but I wanted to.
Because we can make that happen, and I think you know how.
How many more sessions do we have before the end of the month?
2?
Two.
Then yes.
Oh, I see what
No,
you mean.
one.
No, I don't.
No,
Oh,
one.
one.
Is it 1?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
only one.
I don't-
I think
I don't
you
know
should
what
do
I-
that.
What
You should do
so
it.
The question
Do it.
the question I was trying to ask in the first place is what are the base rules for this knockoff guiding?
You have no idea. Like you
Oh,
don't
no,
know.
we don't.
You haven't
Well,
messed
like,
with it.
if
You
I
cast it
wanna-
one time.
If I want to know where something is but I can't see it, I want this thing to take me to it. I don't
don't
even know what
know.
I want to know where it is. And I
Well-
don't know why I'm getting so upset about it right
You
now.
know,
I don't
to be
either.
honest.
This conversation.
Well, the other
I
part of
hear
it
this
is
conversation, and I open up my bag, and then I spend 2 bennies.
Okay.
2 bennies.
Well, that's how much it costs to have an item that you
Oh,
don't
yeah.
actually have.
But
Oh,
also-
I thought that was the 10 Benny.
No, that's
No, no,
change.
no.
It's like change. That's like
Oh.
Ben.
No, but I do want something miraculous to happen. I've tried to call for it 2 months in a row.
Next week, if we don't, we're gonna make that happen. So the other thing though is, I wonder
Oh,
how it works.
Here it is. Here's that guiding bolt scroll.
Here's a
you were
bunch of
looking
them.
for. Here's a bunch of
There's
them.
5. I'll give you 5. You have
Okay.
5. It's not 5 guiding bolts. It's 5 guiding bolts. You have to
Right.
say it right. Otherwise, you're gonna cast the wrong spell.
Leviosa.
Leviosa.
Otherwise, you're gonna cast the wrong spell, and it's gonna be disappointing for someone
I like the idea though.
who gets blasted with 4d6 damage.
I like the idea that it's like almost Where's Waldo since we've gazed at the page and it's like I'm looking for this, and then it's like you totally missed it before, but it's a guy like standing behind a tree and it's like
It's like the Control
You saw
F
the
function.
shoulder?
Yeah, it's a
yeah, it's
Control F
Control
function.
F for the
Like,
area,
yeah.
which actually becomes 1,000 times more useful because we've gazed upon it.
How? Okay, help me use D&D Beyond here. How can I put custom garbage in here? Oh, I sure can.
I would just put down scrolls of garbage.
Oh, Slayer.
Oh, it's
It's
real good. I'm real
absolute-
excited to add that to
Oh,
the channel.
Slayer.
I am 100%
no.
adding that
Not
shit.
okay.
I just don't know if I don't know if that's a
that's
a
somewhat
100
channel
points.
point reward or if that's a
like
a
I
bit
can
reward.
imagine getting us like to like level tier 4. I cast level
Oh.
9 like mass heal and it's like wrong. And it's just like a bunch of crappy.
It's no,
like, it's
no,
it turns
it's
into, like
what it's
everyone gets healed, but it's like a
no. It's just a giant heel of a foot.
Yeah.
which actually could be kind of interesting. I'm not gonna lie.
It's just a large loaf of bread with the middle cut out.
Yeah.
It's just the heels.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
Like,
man,
guys,
that's
Guys, we have
100%.
about a minute to get out of here because he's super pissed.
The real question,
Let's go.
is that a channel point reward or a bit reward? And I'll have to think on that.
Yeah.
I'm real excited though.
That is really good. That's really good. Oh man.
As much as a horse, yeah, that seems on par with a horse.
On brand.
Yeah.
We need to make sure that we choose spells now that can have no opportunity for twisting. Oh man.
I'm just trying to think of
I'd
the awfulness. Lightning bolt, and I don't know, it's just like a decal that shows up. I don't know,
Right.
It's just a 3-dimensional plastic lightning bolt that falls out of the sky.
now you have a magical item to stab somebody with.
It's just like a plastic flash icon.
I'd like to please cast the spell's called Absolutely Don't Kill Everyone in the Party.
On that spell.
All right. So what is the plan
selfish.
then?
We got these guiding bolt scrolls.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know what I wanted to look for it if I'm honest, but I have them.
We don't need to worry about it now.
Huh?
You don't need to worry about it now.
Oh yeah, I
We
got
can do
them.
it we can do it 10
I'm
more
actually,
times.
I'm legitimately excited about this. I just have to remember that I have them. I'll need to keep that tab open all the time.
All right. So, yeah, let's go follow the southwest path.
All right.
Yes.
The southwest path. You follow that trail of ash. It kind of opens up into like a foot trail, kind of a wide path.
Oh.
It doesn't seem necessarily related, but for whatever reason, there is a path along that direction.
Huh.
It keeps going into Jake.
It's in the middle
We
of your
heard
land.
something very, very loud groan and moan within either 1 to 10 miles away from us.
Mhm.
Is the southeast or southwest the path that we would understand it's coming from? I know it's
You heard it come from the south, so it's tough
Yeah.
to know.
So how far from the original path from where we slept are we right now?
About an
Give or take.
hour or two.
So is that 3 miles?
You can walk 2 miles in an hour at this pace, so it's 4 to 5 miles.
Okay.
So I actually just remembered why I wanted these things in the first place.
Mhm.
It was actually for that whatever, and it's why I was asking how it works.
Oh.
Because I I just in my head I imagine this thing actually working
Locate
what are the
object spell.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's the kind where like an old 2D game where the arrow, it doesn't rescale itself. So if you're really far away from whatever it is, it's the same size, which means it's gigantic. It's the size of a house floating over top of whatever it is you're looking for, so you can see it from any distance.
Mhm.
And because we're so concerned about this thing, I would like to use Guiding Bolt.
Okay. Rather than guiding bolt.
No, I don't want to use Guiding Bolt.
Yeah, you want to use guiding bolt, right?
Guiding Bolt. And since none of us really know how Guiding Bolt works or isn't even supposed to work, how do these scrolls work? I read the scroll aloud.
Yeah,
and
you
the
read
spell
it.
happens.
Yeah.
Okay, so I read the spell aloud, and in my head, all I'm thinking, we haven't seen this thing, right? We just heard
We
it.
only heard it. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm thinking I'm concentrating as much as I can on the noise that we heard and the creature that I imagine it came from, just all the different versions of what it could be as I read the spell aloud.
Sure.
And hope beyond all hope that it just leaves a bouncing arrow over top of it so we can keep tabs on it at all times.
So I have good news and bad news.
Mhm.
The good news is you're sure it's not within 120 feet. The bad news is the range of the spell is 120 feet. So it goes 120 feet south of you and then just falls down and kind of blinks out.
Oh, wait, hold on. So we know this is important pieces of information, however. We knew that it was either something really small within a couple of miles of our location or something really, really big a little bit further away up the
You knew it was something big within a few miles of your location.
No. You said it was
Or something really big further away. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There was never an opportunity where this was going to be a small thing to deal with.
Damn,
Kind of like how the
doesn't
dragon was
describe
definitely not going to be a Fey dragon. Got it.
Yeah,
Well, now I have
Practice hates
four
fun.
four guiding bolts,
it's true.
and I know that they are only good for 120 feet. That is something we did not establish last time.
We also know it's going south.
Yes, that too.
Is it like just?
Where
like
is this?
split
Is this trail also going south, or is it?
The trail you are
Headed-
currently on is going southwest, and it kind of like hooks a little bit north. Like it's mostly
is-
southwest, but it does meander a bit.
Yeah, it's really. I think it's really odd, guys, that there's a like it appears to be a footpath here when there didn't look like there were any other significant footpaths coming down from where we were in Wind's Hollow. Like, how does this path just all of a sudden be here? So, someone else must be around.
Oh,
But let's
I'm
go
gonna stop you
south.
Right there. What?
There's like a
You find-
path here. Like how there was a path up there.
I-
We haven't seen a path in a while.
I guess. Okay. All right.
And the existence of such a foot traveled path seems to imply that there are also humanoids who have walked here before we have, and that could be concerning. Where did it come from?
Where'd it go?
Where'd you come from?
Thank you.
I don't know.
Thank you.
Copyright.
Said
right.
Enough out of tune. It was okay.
Fungus nosed Mo. So let's go south even further then
You're
and
gonna
see if
follow
there are
the
other
path.
paths.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you kind of like where this with this trail and the ash line are together. You keep following it, and you come to like an animal kill site, like a hunted. It's like a hunted animal that has clearly been dead quite some time.
Oh.
Can we gently repose it?
No. He said quite some time for that exact purpose.
It's a chimera.
How does
is
it?
not.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah. How does it appear to have been killed? Shot, bear trap, ground trap.
What an interesting question. Make a medicine check. Or an investigation. I'll give you either one.
We know what investigation's based off of.
Can we make a
Fun.
set it on fire check?
Dirty 20.
Sure. It looks like it was killed by javelins and spears.
Javelins and spears. Are there any javelins and spears in it?
No.
Okay.
What kind of animal is this?
It was a deer.
What's
Does it-
left of the deer?
Yeah.
Mostly bones. Bones and like a little bit of like almost like not tanned but definitely like stiff hide
Mm-hmm.
that like has like just like decay, like the meat has decayed and left this hide in this like kind of gross stiff kind of way.
Does there appear to be any fungus around it?
Nope. You do see like cut marks on the bones indicating like the meat was probably cut off.
How long does it appear that this has been dead?
Maybe a month, 2 months.
Oh, okay.
Further south. It's
Are
a
there-
breadcrumb.
I mean, yeah, it is a breadcrumb. You said that it appears to. Are there any like droppings isn't the right word, but is there anything else around this dead animal that might have been dropped while carrying things away from it?
Oh, debris and stuff.
Yeah.
You get the idea that if any meat was dropped, it was probably taken off by some other wildlife.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the main takeaways here is like something hunted this, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not a natural kill. It was hunted with spears. The meat was stripped with knives. But that's kind of like the most you can tell. If anything was like dropped, and it was a month or two ago, so like if anything was dropped, there's been plenty of time for it to be dragged off.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah. Let's continue on then.
Okay.
You just have to be careful.
So you're gonna be stealthy then, or what?
Nah.
Nah.
Boldly charge further that
Stealth is
direction.
not our style.
So you guys stealthfully move along this road. Not stealthfully move along this road. You boldly charge down this road.
Blundering our way down the street.
Right.
Making our way downtown.
Yes, thank you.
And about maybe an hour after you see this like kill site, you notice like a weird knoll to the south of this path.
Ooh.
Knoll, Knol, not Knoll, Gnol.
Oh, thank goodness. I don't really want to fight a Knoll right now.
And there looks to be like some debris around it. It doesn't look like there's any activity there, but it looks like there may have been at some time.
How far is this knoll to the south of us?
Maybe like 200 or 300 feet. It's just kind of like just past like the sight line in the trees, right? So like you manage to spot it because like you're like looking and aware. It's not like immediately on the road, but clearly like this road is whatever lived there was what would use this road.
Yeah. Is there the presence of any fungus or like resin cracks and such in this area?
Not that you have found.
I like to ritually cast it.
I mean, like the burn mark is still along the trail. Are you going down to like look at the knoll itself, or?
Not yet. I was
Okay.
I was curious if like there was the existence of fungus aside from the ash line that we were looking at. Like, are there other tendrils that were nearby, or existence of resin beyond the path that we were following?
It doesn't look like it. It looks like whatever like. And it looks like this burning has done a very good job, right? So
Nice.
It doesn't look like there's a lot of like fungus that's still alive. You've burnt most of it.
Great.
There's like this clear ash trail that kind of like passes this like knoll, whatever lives there. And who knows? Like without investigating it, there's no real way to know like where they are or.
What kinds of things usually live in knolls?
Goblinoids, gnolls, sometimes fey creatures, kobolds sometimes.
Right.
But
not Bruce.
you don't know that much about Bruce. Maybe Bruce.
Maybe it's true. I say let's take mental note of it, but let's keep going before the mushrooms have a chance to regenerate.
Great plan. Let's think about this thing, this plot lead I'm giving you, and ignore it.
Darn
completely.
it!
Perfect.
No,
Great plan. Cool.
Okay, we gotta go. We got.
No. I don't want to force your hand here.
Is there any evidence that whatever might have lived in this knoll had come out and looked at the? Because I just imagine the racket that a burning line of mushrooms would have made, just like as it like zips past.
It doesn't look like anybody's been a lot between the knoll and this footpath since you burnt that line.
Ah, so they may be in hiding.
Let's go to the knoll.
Let's go to the knoll.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you sure? I don't want to like force your hand here.
No, we're good.
It's not a necessary plot point. It is just a point that you can investigate. Like everything else in this game, you could just hang out in Wind's Hollow and work on your business
I was about to say
for
do you
3 hours every week, and I would be fine with that. It would not be very exciting, but that's fine.
Oh goodness.
All right.
Let's go to the knoll.
Perfect.
knoll.
Let's do that in 5 minutes. Let's take a quick break. We'll be back at 8:48. Let's say 8:50. I'll give you 7 minutes because I'm feeling generous tonight. We'll be back at 8:50. We'll see you all then. And we're back for more In the Red. Thanks everyone for hanging out. They didn't get your cookie discussion. I'm sorry, Jake.
No.
I didn't
That's a
get back in
bummer.
time.
That was a good cookie discussion too.
I assume that's why you brought up the cookies in the first place. I didn't want to give you
No,
that
I was just
satisfaction.
no because actually no. The other thing is I have 2 cookies right here from.
Oh,
Costco.
okay. All right.
Oh.
I wish they had chocolate cookies with more chocolate in them. I don't know,
Who? What?
like
It's fine.
like double chocolate chip.
Okay. So you are headed to this like knoll, Knoll, Koll. I don't know, one of those.
KNOL.
2 L's, yes. You head in and you see it is clearly like based off like the rudimentary tools and stuff. You get the idea that it's like it was at least at one time a goblin warren. But you don't see. Suspiciously absent are the goblins.
Can I look around the area to see if I see any trapdoors, poke some things with a stick? See if I
Yeah,
can
make an
do some-
investigation check. How long do you want to spend on this?
Let's say, how long do we want to hang out here, guys? 30 minutes, hour, half a day?
Why are we here again? Hold on, I gotta step back. Why the hell are we just hanging out at a knoll?
Story progression.
Oh. Then let's hang out however long it's gonna take then.
I'll give it a good an hour's worth.
What time of day is it right now?
It's like
midday?
it's coming up on noon.
I give it a
This is
good
a
hour.
great spot for lunch.
Mhm.
And a knoll is like
Five.
it's also like a hill, right?
Yeah, so it's a hill that's been like dug out.
And we checked out the dugout area, right?
Well, that's what
That's
you're
what's
doing
happening.
now. Yeah, that's what you're investigating at the moment.
We could just blow it up. I mean, we should walk
No.
in.
No.
It's a 20! There's a 20 on
let
the
him-
die!
let him
and
get
I
his
have
good
plus
roll.
5!
So
25.
Dimitri, you look around, you scout the place for about an hour. There is like the main entrance. You see 5 or 6 like kind of trapdoor entrances throughout the nearby forest. You don't really go in yet. I assume you would wait for the rest of the party to like barge into a goblin warren, but you do see like 5 or so points of entry. Clearly there's like either like a very large dugout under this hill, or like there's an elaborate kind of like tunnel system, because like the secret access points are pretty spread out.
So I happen to know a thing or two about tunnel system.
You do. Grats,
So-
Shifty Jack, on your bonus subscription.
Woo! Thank you, Jake. So does it appear, Dimitri, when you were looking around, did it look like any of those outer entrances seem to be more used than the others? Because that would imply that that whoever lives here would scurry over to use this one as like the more direct route to go in if they weren't using the front entrance.
I believe. Did I?
Yeah, so there's 2 entrances that are used pretty frequently. You haven't like gone in either one of them, but
Right.
there are
So
2
it's
that
like
are
main
most.
entrance.
Yeah, and then there's like a second entrance that seems to be, or there's 2 other entrances. So there's one entrance that, they both seem to get pretty regular use,
Okay.
and it's like kind of like a tarp, kind of like flap that is like just like camouflaged to look like grass.
So thankfully I didn't fall into these.
You rolled a 25.
Yeah.
Had you rolled something terrible like an 8, and who knows what could have happened.
Who does that?
Who does that? Well, there's a couple of secret entrances around, and then here's the front door. I like Vanna White, the front door.
No, let's go through a secret entrance. I can help lead through the tunnels.
Okay, so there's two of them that look like
How far? Hold on. How far are these secret entrances from the main entrance?
Like probably like 300 feet.
Oh wow.
Yes, Jake.
I'd like to look around. But what's the kind of area this knoll is in? So you said it was in a more grassy
I think
area.
it's in a forest.
You're in the forest, so it
But,
is
like-
like very very tree-y, I guess.
But like, is it like almost like a little clearing and then there's more trees, or is it like in the midst
So the
of
knoll
trees?
is a clearing, right?
Okay.
Like there are no trees like in the knoll
No.
itself.
Mhm.
But immediately where it flattens out, these trees start again. And these
I would
like
like-
secret entrances are like in the trees.
I would like to kind of do like a preliminary scan of like, are we being watched? Are there? I feel like that's all I need to say. I feel like that.
Yeah,
I feel like
throw
that
a-
in and of itself is enough.
Yeah, give me a perception check.
Cool. 19.
You don't have the like feeling of being watched. You don't really see anything that's like. I mean, there are some birds and stuff that are flying around, but like, there's nothing like
Are they
unusual.
watching us?
No, they're not like.
Are they not going
focused.
like?
No,
Right.
they're not like the crows of Dubtree or whatever.
Yeah, they're not
Like,
doing a weirdly.
they're not
crooked
spies
angle,
of Saruman or anything.
Okay.
They're just birds. Like,
And that whatever that phrase from the Undertale is, it brings you comfort. No, whatever the heck it's called, I can't remember it is.
I haven't played it yet.
Go ahead.
That's true, Jack. They probably are watching for the CI. Let's go through a secret entrance.
sure. You guys head toward kind of the back area, and kind of Jake, as you're like scanning, you see off in the distance there's like kind of like a small pit, that like has been dug, and you just like barely spot it, and then you see this kind of entrance area.
I'd point that out and be like, I don't feel like we're being watched, but I'm also not the most observant.
I'm observant. What would I see if I'm observant?
I don't know.
You'd see a small pit that you don't really know what it's about.
No, yeah, that's really weird.
Hey guys, it's a
Well,
hole in the
it could be a-
ground.
Did you want to
What
investigate the pit?
Yeah.
Okay. You head over to the pit, and in the bottom you see a bunch of mud, and you see like a big plank of wood with two large circles cut out of the middle of it.
What's a beer flight board?
No, bigger than that.
Oh,
What's a
It's a
beer
real-
flight board?
A giant beer flight board.
Is it-
where you put
it's-
the glasses of beer?
Okay,
yeah.
that's what I thought. I didn't know there was like another like I didn't know that had like an actual formal name that sounded so good coming off the mouth, like beer flight board. I was like, oh,
is there a term for that? I don't know. A plank.
Yeah, so this
Anyway,
plank
so it's
this
not
plank
that.
looks long enough to like span the whole width of this pit.
food
It's got-
sticks on it.
It's got like two holes kind of in the middle of it. Decent sized holes, but the plank has fallen in the pit and is like on top of some like mud.
Are those holes about the size that wheels would be on a cart?
They're smaller than cartwheels for sure.
Are they big enough for a person to fall through?
No, they're not big enough for a person to fall through.
But if you stepped in one, you would get comfortable.
Oh, your leg would go through, for sure. But you like only your leg. Like you would definitely get stuck like at like the groin area.
I'm
Why would you
assuming
do
this
that,
was
though?
a trap in progress.
It does
Oh,
not
I
look
see.
like a trap.
Yeah. It looks like, to me, it feels like that this plank of wood was discarded.
It looks like it was like made to fit this particular pit.
Oh.
Did you want to
Since, like-
investigate like the plank itself? Did you want to climb down in the pit? I don't know.
Is
How
this, like,
deep's the
on
pit?
Maybe like 6 feet.
How precise is the hole? Like, just
Not
looking at
super precise, but it looks like intentionally dug.
the-
Annex, can you mold earth and just bring the plank up to us?
Okay. I probably.
I mean, that kind of exceeds. Sure.
No. Well, okay. Yes.
I mean,
I can move. Well, so if the pit's 6 feet deep, so this plank is at the bottom of this
Yeah.
pit.
The tallest
Can
person.
you like move the mud 5 feet up, and then we could reach down and pull this plank out?
I could jump down into the pit
And I
because I'm
could
almost
get
6
you
feet
out.
tall myself.
Oh yeah, we're so short. I keep forgetting about that.
I'm 5'7",
It's a
so
tall.
I'm not that much.
It's a tall person's world.
What? Tell me about the sides of this pit. Like, would I be able to climb back out if I jumped in and just grabbed this
I can
plank?
pick you
yeah,
up.
probably. With I mean, with the help
I
of
mean-
3 other people, you could definitely.
I mean,
climb
I
out.
can launch him out of there.
Yeah. I mean, molding earth sounds a lot easier, but it sounds more fun to just jump in and get the plank and climb back out.
Sure.
Mud party.
Yeah, I guess. You know what? I'm not gonna stop this. I think this needs to happen.
So you're gonna jump in the pit? Are you like diving in the pit? I don't know. Like
No,
you're
no,
just
no,
like
no,
hopping
I'm gonna.
down.
I'm well. So
It's a
is
pool full of liquor and dive
if
in.
if I was trying to climb down into this pit, can I like? Are the sides of this pit soft enough that I'd be able to just like kick my feet into the side of them,
Can I?
and like
lower
make
you?
steps in or lower? Oh, right.
Because I'm got a 19 strength. Can I help lower
It,
him?
it definitely will not be hard, as far as you can tell, to get out of this pit.
We're so afraid of shallow spaces.
No. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about him diving in or jumping in and it
Yeah,
just
I'm
going
not-
like, and like just.
I'm not gonna jump in.
literally
So
just.
I'm gonna take out the rope just to be
Mhm.
cautious and like hand it to the 3 of you. The 3 of you'll like line up in like a tug of war line, right? And then you lower me gradually into the pit.
Okay. You get to the bottom of the pit. The top, like the mud is about 6 feet down, and then like your feet kind of sink into the mud, and you realize this pit is probably like 8 or 9 feet deep.
Wow.
And then like as your feet finally hit the bottom, you take a second, and you're like, "Oh,
Oh
It's
what is
no!
that?"
It's the.
Oh.
And you are a foot and a half deep in shit.
Literal.
That couldn't have gone any better.
So that answers the question. Mold Earth would not have worked because that's not Earth.
Wait, what were the holes for? I've got so many more questions.
The holes are for their butt, and they poop
Yeah,
through it.
yeah.
It's a latrine, and I'm now standing in it. So
Yeah.
I'd like you to please pull me back out.
I guess I'll pull slowly.
Okay.
And
You
so we
managed
can
to get
fully
him out.
hear the-
Yeah, for sure. There's like a suctiony sound. It's kind of yeah. He smells just awful.
I don't
You're
think I
like
have-
you're up to your knees. You're just like kind of covered in poop.
It sounds like a crappy situation.
Yeah. A real
God.
bummer of a situation.
Guys, there's these like doors everywhere that we
I
could have
would-
just gone through.
I would hate to get to the behind of that.
All right,
Right.
let's move on.
Oh my god.
I like the idea where you're just frustrated.
I pointed out the thing. Morty got distracted. You jumped in.
I didn't jump in. I was lowered. You were party to this.
He was gently
He was
lowered
not.
into the poop. Yeah.
I was not a part of it. I was like,
No,
There's
he
a
said we
door
got
right
a tug,
here,
of,
guys.
tug of war rope lining, and then
Well,
it's just I'm just telling how the story goes.
Yep. You are now out of the poop. Congratulations. Did you want to bring like the seat back up with you, or
no, I'm,
no?
I'm
All right.
good.
All right.
I
was there any gold down there?
Do you want to go search?
No.
Well,
I paused the poll
He
when
didn't
you back
spot me,
up,
that's
and I'm
for
like,
sure.
"Do you want to look for gold?" It's like,
Meanwhile,
Right.
And then I continue pulling. my
Quick
back.
question: if Enix were to take form of animal,
Mhm.
would the poop still be on the animal, or
No,
would he
it's
come
considered his belongings now
Got
until
it,
he
okay.
cleans himself. So
Got
it
it.
molds into the animal with him, and then when
Got
he
it.
shapes out, he's once
Then it's
again
back.
covered in poop. Yeah.
Back? Okay, cool. Yep.
I'm gonna, as soon as you crest the pit, I'm gonna go. Gross.
No, so yeah. Okay. Let's
Because I'm.
let's go into the secret entrance. I'm so glad that you pointed that out to us, Morty.
Look,
Oh,
it was a unique feature in the terrain. I don't know.
I do like the fact that Brian went out of his way to find me a poop hole,
Mhm.
and then get Enix to go down because he's tall. We'd have been doomed if anyone else went down there.
We would have been doomed.
Somebody would have
It's
been
true.
somebody would have been shoulder high in poop.
Yep.
Well,
Really-
you said that the pit is 9 feet deep. Which means there's 3 feet of poop.
It's a lot of poop.
They're all shorter than 3 feet, are they
It's
not?
correct.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
would have been bad news.
Yeah,
We'd
they
have
were
been
up to here.
suffocating. in
Drowning in poop.
Oh, that's
Not a way to
I
go.
really can't.
There's
think
not
of a
much
worse
buoyancy
way.
going on there.
Well,
Oh, man.
if Spit would have just jumped off, he would have just
No,
Yeah.
it's less than 10 feet. I would have needed to jump at least 2 feet into the air.
He would have had to
would've
get a running
cratered.
start to leap up to fall and die in poop.
It's corn. Ew. Gross.
Slayer.
Okay, so we're going into this secret entrance that's
Yeah.
totally not a poop hole, right, guys?
I
I
don't
mean,
know
the
why-
poop hole's all the way over there, so
Is there
There's
water
probably
anywhere
a
nearby?
secondary poop
I
hole.
don't want to go blundering our way through this null when anyone within 100 miles of us can smell me right now.
Well,
There
Yeah,
has to
that's
be
what I was worried
like
about.
you get the idea that this knoll would not be inhabited if there wasn't water nearby.
also, you're probably less likely to have a normal scent if you're full of poop or covered in poop.
Yeah, you smell like the wilds now.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's the extent of Morty's attempts of just saying you smell like crap.
Well, I'll just let it be then.
yeah.
Let's
I mean,
let's
you can track down some water if you want to clean
No,
up.
I think
No?
let's see where this goes.
Okay.
I want to see how this. Yeah.
So Dimitri takes you to the most well-traveled of the not main entrance of the entrances to the Goblin Warren. You gonna go in or just hang out and look at the flap?
I lift up the flap. Do
Sure.
we see anything?
You see a couple of steps that lead down that are well-traveled, and you see like a bucket of water that is.
Don't step in it.
So the bucket is like hanging, like on a hook, kind of like driven into the wall of this warren. And when you look inside, you can tell that like the bucket is half full, but the last time it was used, really, it was full because you see that like white ring of like where the evaporation started, and it's probably
It's slower.
a 2-gallon bucket, and it's down to like 3/4 of a gallon right now.
So it's got like all the minerals around the rim
Yeah.
and such.
Yeah, yeah.
Alright, so Annex, here's a little bit of water if you want to clean up, but by looking at this, it doesn't look like there's been much activity here. We can go see what we can steal. I mean, borrow. Right?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. As you head through like the hallways
Caverns.
of this goblin warren, you don't hear anything, and you kind of lead the path leads to like it opens up a little bit, and you see this like wooden table with like what is clearly like dishes and stuff that they were using. They're not like, it's not clearly whatever happened to them didn't happen during a meal because there's not like a spread set up or anything. But it's clearly like a living room, or like a dining room. As you continue around, you see like you manage to circle around to where the main entrance is, and you like look out and you don't really see anything. And then as you circle back, you get to this room that looks like it's got kind of like bedrolls, it's like dirt and then leaves and then like gunny sack kind of topper. And in the corner, you see a dead goblin holding a spear.
Bummer.
That looks like he has been, unfortunately, killed.
How does he appear to have been killed? Like with a spear as well, or cut open, or fungused open?
Cut open, and like bludgeoned, I think. Yeah.
Is it a similar spear to what we saw with the animal on the side of the road back there?
Yes. It's a nice spear. It's a well carved spear, with like kind of an ornate spearhead. But
We take the spear.
there.
Where are you gonna put it?
I don't know. So how long ago does it look like that this goblin has been bludgeoned?
Make a medicine check. Someone.
I guess I'll do it. Well, I should. I have really good medicine.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I can give it assistance to that.
So you'll be at advantage then, Alex.
Oh.
Because he's assisting.
D20. I like that one better. That's a oh god, math. 22.
Okay. It looks like he's been dead maybe 3 weeks or so.
Oh, wow. So the deer dead about a month, and a week and a half or so later.
Wait, what?
You do smell an odor that isn't Annex.
Sorry.
Oh, well.
What's the odor?
It does smell like some kind of rot. Did you want to try to like track it down?
I like to cast detect.
It's not the
magic.
dead guy in front of us.
No.
Oh, okay.
I would have liked to, and this is a little retroactive, have detect magic up as we started entering.
Sure, you don't detect any magic.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it's
wait.
Up, so
You detect magic on the
spear?
spear. Yeah.
Yeah.
not shocked, but okay, we'll deal with that later. Because unless it's like it's got explosive magic on it, I'll be like, that's a thing. But if it doesn't, then I'm gonna continue. I'll be like, hey, it's magical, and I'm gonna keep on moving.
Mm-hmm.
Should we
And-
use
and
our
you
one
still
of our
smell.
guiding? Should we use one of our guiding bolts to find the smell?
One of your
Do-
guiding bolts.
Guiding it.
Guide.
Or we could just smell.
Yeah.
The guiding bolt.
It doesn't take long to figure out where the smell is coming from. Like you
Is it,
like,
follow
from
the
the
scent,
kitchen?
Attached to our face.
and like there's there's another one of these like flap tarp things,
Yeah.
kind of on the far end of the bedroom or of the dining room area,
Kitchen. Mhm.
and you flip it open, and it's clearly the rest of the deer
Yeah.
that's just been kind of like sitting and rotting for a month.
How to make
Can
sense.
we take the deer out and see if anything's underneath?
If you want.
Is there anything underneath?
Yeah, as you kind of like move the deer, it kind of like falls apart. There's just like not a
Yeah.
lot of material that's like holding it together left. You don't really see anything. It's just like their meat storage.
Okay.
Not really
Um,
sanitary at all.
Is the goblin wearing anything, or are there like any wall decorations or insignia that would be familiar to us, whether it be friend or foe type stuff? Like we've seen, like the bad juju symbol back at the Emerald Blade camp. We know the Emerald Blades themselves. I'm sure Eustace Clodbottom has some kind of calling card. So,
Yeah, so I think there's probably, like, essentially, like, as you toss the place, like, you don't really see anything until you take a look at the spear. And you look at the spear, and there's, the rest you wouldn't notice, but there's clearly, like, druidic writing, like, druidic runes carved into the spear. Like, this is clearly, like, druidic magic. Whatever magic has been imbued upon this spear has been granted by the druids, right? So, like, typically, druids don't, like, mess with hostile forces in the wilderness. You get the idea that, like, this probably wasn't, like, a hostile, like, band of goblins. Like, it's probably just, like, a family of goblins that lives in the forest and was unfortunately visited by something, you know. Interestingly enough, you only see one of what appears to be a half a dozen like there's a half a dozen beds, some of them in various sizes, right? So you get the idea that there's like some like not like baby goblins, but like teenage goblins and some like full grown goblins. And the one that is dead, it looks to be a teenage, like a younger goblin.
That's so sad.
It's been dead for 3 weeks, so there's probably not a whole lot of young goblin left, is there? Like, is it obvious how large the creature that bludgeoned it to death was?
It
Are
looks
there
like
signs
the
of
goblin,
other
it looks
recklessness?
Yeah, so it looks like the goblin was killed by, I don't know, 4 or 5 things that were approximately goblin-sized. And it doesn't appear to be... It seems like there was some, like, wild swings taken. So, like, it doesn't appear to be, like...
4 or 5 goblin-sized things attacked
this other goblin.
And there are now 4 or 5 empty goblin beds.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it has a spear with druidic magic.
Yeah. In the bed area, are there any like weapon holding areas or anything like that?
No, it looks like there's kind of like a rack in the bedroom area that holds like the spear. But it looks like this this is the hunting and like protective item of this family of goblins. He like you search his body and he does have like a knife on him for like cleaning meat essentially, but this is the weapon this family has.
You said there's druidic script carved into it?
Yeah, I take it over to you and I show it to you.
But real quick, so I can get clarity, I apologize. So you said that this goblin was killed by 4 to 6 other goblin-sized 4 to 5 other-sized goblin creatures, and they seem to be potentially wild and swinging as well. It wasn't it's tough to know because you don't. Right, it wasn't like there wasn't a lot of skill in the kill. It was he was surrounded by other goblin-sized creatures, and he met his end to them.
Okay. Do you think his family got possessed and killed him?
That's where I'm going with this. What does the spear? So I take the spear from Sped. What is carved into it?
It's just a couple of runes identifying the circle. It looks like vaguely. It looks like some sort of like embellishment of Circle of the Moon.
Oh, okay.
So like, you recognize there are different circles of druids, and you recognize that each of them has like a rune associated with them. And typically, when like a druid becomes like a weaponsmith using either like stone or wood items, they'll like carve in like their circle, and then like they'll kind of like customize, stylize it to themselves, right? You haven't seen like, you are not a Circle of the Moon druid. You haven't seen a lot of like the embellishments, but this appears to like, it gives you the sensation of like
Interesting.
like a big like, for lack of a better word, like tanky animal. So like whoever made this like leans towards like bears and moose rather than like cats and wolves, right? It's not like the runes identify it as like a sturdy animal rather than like a tenacious animal, right?
Yeah.
Is as I'm holding this spear,
Mhm.
do I this may sound like a weird question, but do I get the sense that there's anything unusual about this spear? Like, do I feel anything mentally holding this spear? Because like I see, I mean, we've walked into this room, right, and we've seen a goblin holding this spear, or with the spear near it.
Oh, it was holding it in a very like defensive way. Like it was holding it like this.
Okay.
Mm.
So, all right. So I guess I am wondering, both as a human and in character, if this goblin went nuts and got killed by its family as in defense, or if he was the only one that did not get turned into some sort of
Right.
something else and got killed by corrupted, potentially spored,
Fungus infected, yeah.
fungus infected goblins. Because there was a vein of fungus going right across the front yard, right?
Yeah, but we're not seeing existence of other fungus aside from that particular vein. I do think that this spear is particularly special. But yeah, it could go either way.
Alex,
Marty,
make a
just-
perception check.
Who, me?
Mm-hmm.
14.
Something smells off, and it's not you.
Thanks.
Something smells. When you were in the Shadowfell, there was like an odor, and this place has that odor to it.
You described it as like a sulfurous odor.
Yeah, it's like a sulfury kind of sourness.
I'm sorry, it's been a minute. Just what is the structure of the room that we're in? Is it just like a room with one door?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there? So we're in like a bedroom area.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any? Looking at the ground, has the ground been disturbed recently? Does it
No,
look like it's been dug up or anything? Okay. Is it just what is the ground made of anyway?
like hard dirt, hard packed dirt.
Okay. But it hasn't been disturbed. Where's the smell coming from?
It's just kind of like filling the room a bit.
What's that smell?
Yeah. There's like an overall like lingering odor. It's not like potent. It's like something like a lingering scent of that kind of like corruption, that kind of like taint of the Shadowfell.
How did we go between here and the Shadowfell before? Well, let me.
Wild
I can bring-
mishaps.
Well,
Let me rephrase that question. When we
can
when we
make
went
it happen again if you
when
want.
no. When we went to the shadow, when we got died, and we went to the Shadowfell for a
Got
minute in that cave.
Yeah.
That one.
And then Baron brought us back, right?
Yeah.
Into the real
Yeah.
world. Or
Yeah.
Kind
well,
of.
to this.
Yeah, it was
Did
him.
we-
Yeah, he did that for you.
Did that smell carry with us as we like poofed back into this plane?
Interestingly, you have not smelled this odor since the Shadowfell. But kind of like upon holding this spear, this like in this chamber, it did not smell like this until you started like investigating this spear.
Okay. If I put the spear back down, well, so am I the only one that smells it, or does everybody smell it?
Only you.
Okay.
Oh.
Hey Spit, did you smell anything funny while you were holding this thing?
You.
Spit. Oh,
I'm sorry. No,
Zing!
You did
no,
not. Spit.
I didn't. I didn't. Did you do something different with the spear?
I read it. That's all I
Oh, what did it say?
did. It's just describing the something moon. I'm sorry.
Circle
Moon,
of
moon.
the moon.
Circle of the
MOON. That spells moon.
The circle, yeah. It just describing the idea of the circle of the moon, and the rune on it, and how it is associated with large animals, and how I smell the Shadowfell again.
Are you having
If
a
I-
stroke?
If it's not burnt toast, it's sulfur.
It's, huh.
Strangely similar, in fact.
Oh, if I put the spear back, like if I just want to place the spear down on one of the beds.
Mhm.
Do I still smell it?
No.
Okay. So it's
So when you hold it, you smell it?
yeah.
Smell
So
yourself.
I picked this spear back up. Are there any? I mean, I know you described the inscriptions for the Circle of the Moon. Is there written language anywhere on it?
No, that is the language. So, like,
Okay.
there are, like, runes in Druidic that essentially identify the Circle of the Moon and, like, its crafter.
Okay.
But, like, without knowing the crafter, like,
Oh.
you know that this sigil is a crafter's sigil, but you've not met that crafter.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to know if there was something else written on it that explained, like, hey, this puts you like 1 foot in the Shadowfell.
No, there's no way to really know that because despite 2 seasons of this show, none of you had the identify spell. So,
Well, someone would, but they're no longer with the show.
it's
Let
true
me try this. So
For now.
for now. Yeah.
I want to continue to hold the spear, and I just place my hand on Spit's head, on
Mhm.
top of his head.
All right.
Like, hey, Spit, do you smell anything?
My eyes dilate as he does that.
No, you don't smell anything. Spit.
Oh man. Okay.
Nothing is as pungent as NX right now.
Yeah.
So I'm
Hey-
smelling poop plus sulfur. This is a
Hey-
great day.
You do not
Hey,
smell
Blue.
poop. You
Oh.
smell sulfur.
So I don't smell myself anymore. I
No.
only smell this. Interesting.
Hey, Blue, I'm worried.
Well, you're
What?
holding a knife, so it's okay. You'll be safe.
I'm worried.
Oh my God. Do I?
Can you
This is
bend over and cough for a bit?
Right. This is a wild question, but do I feel anything different in my lungs?
No. No.
Okay. Is it? Would I have a way of knowing if this newfound ability is connected to the crap in my lungs or the thing that I'm holding, or if the thing in my lungs are talking to the thing I'm holding?
No. No.
Stop giving him too many ideas.
I don't.
Stop.
I don't think
I've
there's
got-
a good way to know if it's tied to the thing in your lungs. I think you are intuitive enough to know that, like, your ability to smell this, like, this Shadowfell odor is tied to you holding this spear and you reading those runes, right? So essentially
so it
you have
started after I read it.
yes. Essentially,
Yeah.
like reading those runes has started the attunement process to this spear, and so like this item like clearly has some sort of like, if not warding capability, some kind of warning capability that like the Shadowfell has been here or is close.
Okay, that's better than Enix about to be possessed. So yes.
I think I should keep this thing. This
Yes.
sounds kind of cool, actually.
And if not anything else, it causes you to not smell poop.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
Question.
Mhm.
What kind of magic is it radiating?
It is radiating transmutation
Okay.
and
Everything radiates transmutation. No one knows what it means.
sure. Well, it's a magic item.
Yeah.
It's radiating.
Exactly.
It's not conjuration.
It's not necromantic. That's all I care
No.
about. No. Okay, good. Is it like enchantment? No.
Hold on. It's
Whatever the identifying
probably
spell.
it's transmutation.
Transmutation times 2.
Yeah, like it's radiating transmutation and I guess abjuration.
Way funner if you said it. Transmutation with the hint of transmutation.
Right.
Yeah.
With just a sousance of abjuration.
With a
magic.
little bit of with a sprinkling of
Yeah.
more transmutation.
Yeah.
Dick, I'm gonna edit your notes a little bit here.
Uh-oh. Fighting over his notes now.
Well, I literally
Uh-oh.
like it's 40 something
Yeah.
pages.
I
of
keep
notes.
wondering why you haven't started the wiki yet, but
And-
here we are.
I said right here. Right
So
here.
Yeah, it said
So-
you said that the spear itself was the thing that smelled.
What you smell?
Dimitri, what are you trying to say?
I was gonna say, so it sounds like that the spear with its ward of protection or word of warning, sounds like something from the Shadowfell came through here, like something that was tainted and caused whatever happened to this goblin.
Spooky.
Yeah.
This
We
is
should
spooky,
probably.
actually.
Is there anything else within this small little area that might give a note as to a name or at least a name of the goblins or anything of that nature?
No.
And do I see anything? Do I see anything different in the room, or is it just the smell that I'm experiencing? Well,
It's just an odor. It's just like
Mm.
it's somehow triggered like a primal sense in you to pick up on like odors that are lingering. Specifically like this Shadowfell odor. You do know that like nature magics and Shadowfell magics are like diametrically opposed. Like that is a thing you all have discovered. So like presumably this is some sort of like defensive spear that is meaningful enough that like it would be given to either another druid or someone allied with a druid in order to defend something from the Shadowfell.
does that imply it's particularly effective against someone from the Shadowfell?
No, it does imply that like it is specially crafted to give you advantages
Okay.
against things from the Shadowfell, but you
Ah.
can smell things from the Shadowfell. So that might be the only advantage. There's no way for you to really know without like
It's actually
fully
really
attuning.
big.
Yeah.
The next question I had is next, whatever. In terms of like magic, I feel like there's probably some spells and items that have more of a they have a stronger aura, yeah,
Aura.
than others, and that's probably outside the purview of the detect magic spell. But I don't know if that actually is.
I would say make an Arcana check.
I didn't want to do that.
I think that is outside the purview of the detect magic
17.
spell, but not by such a substantial amount that you can't do
I mean,
it,
I would love to
so.
say wisdom, but
Yeah, so it's like,
just to gauge like if it's like a little bit more powerful than the things that we've otherwise encountered.
so it's definitely more powerful than like the bad scrolls, right? Like the aura
Excuse you.
I'm sorry. The unexpected consequence scrolls, I guess.
Thank you.
It is less magical than the armor you found.
Okay.
Which armor are we
The
talking?
armor that you found in the mud pit after you fought the blights. The like,
Oh, yeah, that
like
was-
ebon, like draconic.
I thought you were about to say the
thick
stuff
armor.
that the thing that's on my arm currently.
No.
That I still have no
Um,
idea what it does.
It has less of an aura than like that seemingly spooky armor that you found.
That was on the dead body of a dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was
Yeah.
like 6 feet deep in mud.
At least he didn't get carved into and turned into a message board.
That's true. But that's its power. Its aura is strong enough that like you're like it's noticeable, and you're like, oh, that's something worth keeping in mind. But it's not so strong that you're like, oh crap, like we gotta figure out everything about this right now, you know. I guess like what I mean to say is like it's clearly made by like druids of this world, not like deities of another.
Yep.
Or like things with deific power, right?
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Well, is there any gold in here?
No.
Okay.
I mean, there's a magic staff that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Or a magic spear.
Yeah. Yeah. Are there any like loose rocks and stuff like that in here?
Loose rocks?
Yeah.
He wants to make
Sure.
a pile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to make
I
a
walk
pile? Yeah.
Exactly. I walk around and make the pile of rocks, and I put. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's easily done. Yeah.
All
You say a
right. Well. Yeah.
With Spit doing that, I like to say a prayer.
Sure. What kind of prayer?
Something to the extent of because they were attacked. Clearly, it wasn't like it was as you said, it wasn't a hostile group. It was more the circumstantially, it was more like they were there existing versus like they were a mercenary group.
Right.
Something to the degree of a peaceful death and passing from nature as they existed, to the afterlife and to the the next stage. I really don't know what that. It's not any of the bad fae that we've encountered thus far, but something
Sure.
like the friendly handoff of the material and living world to the afterlife and the safe passage of them forward.
Okay. Make a religion check.
I'm gonna re-roll that one.
Okay.
19. Better than an 8.
19 is better than an 8. I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Would you like to spend 10 pennies and have a miraculous thing happen?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah? Okay.
Just because Jason said it, absolutely it's happening.
Okay.
We've disappointed him 2 months in a row. This is not happening again. And I would like to it channeled through Spit.
My eyes dilate.
He starts projecting images on the wall.
His R2D2.
Okay.
Non-copyright infringing R2D2.
yeah.
Right. I'm trying to figure out how to make this happen through Spit, and it's challenging.
I'm here to drive live hand grenades in your lap.
So you finish your prayer, and from
I finished putting the last rock on.
Right. Yeah.
As one does.
You notice your book falls open. It hits the ground, falls out of your pack.
Yeah.
It opens up, and Spit kind of like walks over to like help you pick it up. And then from Enix's new spear, this like kind of like beam of green light erupts
Ooh.
and surrounds Spit as he's holding this book. And you see this like glowing energy erupt from the book, and Spit like looks at it, and it like beams into him, and then he like starts looking around, and it just starts like beaming out of his huge dilated eyes. And it's this like gold and green energy that kind of like fills this knoll in a way that like, have you ever gone into like an old farmhouse and the light comes through the window and the house is like full of dust?
Yeah.
And so like there's this whole like kind of like
Holy light.
ephemeral like kind
Dark
of
equals
texture to
cool
it.
light. Yeah.
So that happens throughout this whole knoll. You guys look over and you notice that Enix is clean again.
That's less good.
Enix, you no longer smell that like brimstone smell.
Oh.
And it is clear that you have made this like a hollow space. Like this has been hallowed. So this is now like a holy space.
We could sleep here. Can I open my mouth and does the light come out of my mouth too?
Yes, absolutely.
Vapor beam!
I like the idea whenever he steps into like this area, he just starts glowing. Like, wait, who are you?
Enix, you are no longer you no longer have negative maximum hit points.
Oh yay!
Yeah!
Holy
I have to
That's
remember
10
how
bennies for you.
to fix that.
That was the best 10 bennies I think ever spent. Hey,
That means I can stop. Thank you for making me have to stop, think about how to fix the fungus.
you were the one thinking about how to fix the fungus. I think I was the one trying to think about
I was actively preventing you from thinking about it, I think.
That
You're
could
like,
be.
just get away from me. And I was like, no. That's interesting. Wait,
Hey, Spit, can you project movies on the wall while you're at it?
Ah!
wait,
It's like
before,
cartoons.
jokes aside,
It's morning stick figures.
who... Is anyone here with us right now? And I
mean,
say
in
it out loud,
spirit?
kind of see.
Like-
Yeah, like I'm trying to see if Spit's being kind of like,
Oh, if somebody is
Am
like
I-
being channeled through Spit.
yeah, not necessarily like taking control of him, but like, hey, is someone there? Blink twice, you know. Beside, hey, Spit, don't blink twice if that's you. But like, you know, if somebody else is able to control the eye movements, are you here, kind of thing?
I think.
Or like, hey, make the dead body twitch a little bit. I don't know, maybe that's not appropriate.
Maybe
but,
not
like,
that one, no.
But I don't know if
Um,
like outside control of body is appropriate, but like, hey, you know, wiggle the lamp. I don't know.
I think you. I think the tip of the spear, that beam of green energy, redirects into a wall, and it carves in the same script that's in your book,
Oh, damn it.
but you can read it. And
Oh,
it
yay.
says, the path continues. Be blessed. Protect the wardens. Protect the Ironwood.
Who are you?
It doesn't continue.
No,
Yeah.
I'm asking afterwards. Who are you?
I mean,
Like,
there's
I don't know.
nothing.
And there's not. I guess that I
It doesn't. It
immediately
doesn't
paired to
seem
the
like.
book.
It seems like it's like programmed rather than a conversation.
Damn it!
Wow.
I actually look crestfallen. I'm happy that it happened. I'm upset that I don't have more, like, tangible, or not, tangible's not the word. Like, I would like someone to be able to, beyond, like, blanket messages. Like, that's what I'm upset about.
Mhm.
Like, we were so close. I mean, so close, and is like, they were dead for 3 weeks. Like,
Right.
we were so close. Like, 21 to 30 days ago. Dang it! But like, we're so close to getting to another person that knows who I'm, or knows what I'm trying, or knows what we are trying to get through.
Mhm.
But yet we're still feeling so far away.
Mhm.
And like, I'm happy, but still sad.
As you kind of express this, you look again at the text, and where it says, save the warden, protect the ironwood, you see like this gold and green kind of like emboldening in that text,
Okay.
and then it kind of fades again.
Ooh.
Fancy.
They're with us. They're watching over us. And that was really cool.
I like to immediately check Spit to make sure he's okay. After he just became a semi-projector for another little.
So I think actually maybe he's not. Like, I think, Spit, you've probably taken 10 points of radiant damage.
I was gonna say,
That
I'm
actually
like,
does check out.
Yeah. I think like a lot of power has been channeled through kind of an entity that was not meant to harness it, and I think that probably does take a toll.
Yeah.
Selfishly, does my book seem checked out too?
Your book seems charged. Like, it seems like
I just put it on the charging station for 3 hours.
like it seems like filled with energy at this point. Like, you feel a connection, and you feel the book being like full of whatever this power is. Yeah, what green energy, I guess, for lack of a better kind of descriptor.
Magic. Ooh.
What time of day do we think? You said we at least got here at.
Yeah, it's
At
about 2 or 3 in the
least.
afternoon.
I guess I'll bandage you up. I don't know how I'll fix your insides, but I'll be like, hey, take this Advil.
Yeah.
It's my bundled up stuff, and then I give it to you, and as I staple you.
Okay.
Unless you don't want to be stapled.
I'm fine being stapled.
2 plus, is it 4? Is that what the thing is?
What are you? You have a staple gun and you're doing math now?
Yeah, it's Card of Healer's Feet.
Oh.
2 plus 4 plus your level, so I think it's 14. No, that's not math. No, it's math. That's how math works.
Yeah. Nice.
You're questioning the healer? How much healing I do? Wait a minute.
Oh
You just
no.
started talking about staples.
It's the staple gun. It's what makes everybody feel better.
Oh.
It's a healer's kit. Yeah.
The healer's kit.
It's not even medical staples.
It's just
like
it's just glue.
You went to the hardware store and bought the like inch-long like roofing staples.
I also like to think that I also have like crazy glue or Gorilla Glue in the pack. It's like, that's good. Like,
True story. That's what we used to do to like fix hand wounds in bowling all the time. It's just super glue them shut. Like,
Ow.
it's not too wrong.
yeah.
Say
I
bowling?
carry a tube
Bowling,
of glue on
yeah.
my motorcycle in case.
What are you guys
in the first aid kit?
Hmm?
In case
doing that?
things happen.
You can cut your thumb open pretty bad when you're bowl.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna look up bowling injuries, but that sounds oddly.
I mean, like, when I was bowling 12 games a day at 12 games.
I
at
was
a
just thinking
time,
you were
so
like
it's
putting your hand in like the bowling
Yeah.
machine. It's like
No. It's from the
injury.
ball, so it's like swelling happens because it's like
Yeah.
pressure.
Oh,
on
and then
your
it catches
thumb,
or something.
and then it scrapes on your thumb hole. Yeah.
God.
abrasion,
gross.
everything. Ugh.
Disgusting.
Oh, do not Google that. Oh my god.
Oh no!
Oh no, Linux made a mistake.
I want to look
He's
up bowling
covered in
history.
poop again.
I honestly like the thing is I hate digits. I want to look it up and it's like
No.
just on the it's like
No, you're good.
I'm gonna do it.
No.
Okay.
No.
If you,
So should we continue the adventure like the bright light told us to do?
We can, but we'll have to next time on In the Red. We'll pick up here. I wanted to have more of a cliffhanger, but here we are.
what
Yeah.
do bowling injuries look like?
Yeah.
Find out next time.
Next time.
Ew.
Nope, I'm not showing that on stream. We'll get demonetized.
Yeah.
Like what did they do though?
Ew.
It's,
The
Yeah,
path
right.
on In the Red to the next adventure.
Oh, it makes
Yeah.
so much more
Not go back to
sense.
town.
now that you're looking at yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, oh,
Anyway.
it's just people don't know how to handle ball. Never mind.
Well, you know.
that was a joke.
Yeah.
No. it-
Anyway, thanks everybody for hanging out. Join us next week for the next episode of In the Red. In the meantime, find us on Patreon, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and
MySpace.
Twitter. At Init Coffee Co., Initiative Coffee Co., or Initiative Coffee Company. Just type those things in, you'll find it, I'm sure. Go to initiativecoffeeco.com, buy or initiativecoffeecompany.com. What is my website?
InitiativeCoffee.com.
No, that's not it. It's Initiative Coffee
This is
Co.
impressive, Brian.
I feel real dumb. Right now.
InitiativeCoffeeCo.com. Yeah.
All right, perfect.
You had it right.
Yeah, initiativecoffeeco.com. You can buy coffee that supports either Initiative Coffee Company or Rise Above the Disorder, formerly Anxiety Gamers, or Jasper's Game Day, our friends over there, based off whatever coffee you buy. Find us on Patreon. This is the week. This is the week I'm planning on making an effort to do the thing that needs to get done. It's on my agenda for my scheduled time for the week now that it's summer. So this is a
Right,
thing that should happen.
I believe in you. However,
Say that.
you've been
Com-
saying that since
comma
January.
I know. Look, I know. I'm not like reliable.
And
I get it.
you want to know the best part? It was also said during season 1.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah. Look, I know I'm not reliable. It's a thing. I'm working on it.
I
Anyway,
think you're special. It ain't.
find us on Patreon. $15 a month. I will tell you what $15 a month does. Ignore the things it says on Patreon at the moment. You can create your own face spirit, similar to Big Mar or similar to Rusalka, I guess, if you want to have a creepy face spirit.
Wait.
Oh,
what is
man.
Ahsoka?
No. He's saying you could make a face spirit
Oh.
like Rusalka if you wanted to.
Or maybe get updated maps.
Yeah, I'll work on that too. Fine. That is the $15 tier.
It's one
$5, right, maybe. $5 a month gets our heroes here a Benny, an additional Benny every month, where they can do several things with it, including miraculous things that can happen and create hallowed sacred ground in the Ironwood that might come up in a future episode. We'll find out. Other than that, check out fuzzylogicscaperoom.com. They're doing corporate events, they're doing private events, they're doing digital online events. They've got secret boxes that can only be accessed through the powers of the interwebs. They have other regular rooms that are real fun too. They are starting to schedule con type events. If you have one of those coming up, they have really interesting puzzle boxes that they can bring. We did one at their place a couple weeks ago. It was super fun. They're a great one-stop shop for all of your puzzle box needs. Other than that, I don't think I have other stuff. Does anyone else have other stuff? Cool. Until next time, stay safe. Wear a mask for another, I don't know, month, 2 months. We're getting close. We're almost out of the woods, but we're not quite there. Until then, have fun, stay safe, and as always, Roll together. Thanks, guys.